shot.
Going fast makes me feel alive. My heart beats in hyperdrive. Do you think we could win? Only if I lose. Just let destiny choose.
Kingdom Hearts is definitely a very unique franchise, in a weird and odd way I guess. A crossover between two heavily different franchises being the Western corporate juggernaut Disney and iconic Japanese game developer Square Enix, with an original story thread in between. Just think about it, telling someone that Cloud and Mickey Mouse would be in the same game, yeah, you'd probably get laughed at, but surprisingly it works very well. Now when you hear the word Disney itself, it's already going to trigger a ton of emotion towards people, and even myself. When you think of Disney, you think of the plethora of films they've produced throughout the century, classics like Cinderella, Lilo and Stitch, Japan, Tarzan, and even more their modern sensations like Frozen, Moana and Big Hero 6. I love these films, nostalgia is embedded with them. The elegant hand-drawn animation, the narrative spectacle, diverse range of cultures and styles, Disney animation are truly magical. Square on the other hand at this point in time have already established their name in Western regions with major success of their hit game Final Fantasy VII for the original PlayStation and most recent release at the time Final Fantasy X, both must-buys for both respected consoles. So this crossover announcement did get a lot of eyebrows raised, and it made sense as nothing like this had ever happened before. It's not your typical crossover like the Avengers or Justice League. This is legit two different franchises that are being smashed together. And no, not that smash. I didn't script this properly, yeah. Released on the 28th of March 2002 and exclusive for the PlayStation 2. And I'm gonna be honest, I never owned the PS2 as a child. My main two consoles I had owned were the Nintendo GameCube and the OG Xbox. So yeah, I was kinda missing out. The only opportunities I had to play the PS2 were with friends after primary school, and that's pretty much it. But that's all changed back when I finally got my PS2 a couple of years back, with my first official game being Kingdom Hearts, MCM Comic Con of 2015. I still remember a close friend of mine low-key telling me not to buy the damn PS2 because I was getting ripped off, which overall was very true, but now in the long term this console is a part of my gaming family, so it was totally worth it. Okay, with the context being over, let's head over to the remix editions. Now, if you are kinda new to Kingdom Hearts, or the series overall, I'll have you informed that you're very lucky playing this series now, because 10 to 15 years ago, it was pretty much hell for the fans of the franchise. We start off from the PS2, the Game Boy Advance, back to the PS2, to the PSP, to the DS, to a mobile phone. Yeah, I just don't get it myself. But thanks to the remixes, full HD remasters of all your titles, you can get the full experience and play all of it in released order, all in one console. So yeah, I do recommend to get this copy, and of course, who doesn't want to play it in full HD? Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 for the PS2 and other games as well.
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real or not?
Mysterious, eerie, but intriguing is how I describe this opening. The story kicks off with an animated spectacle starting off with some philosophical dialogue by a boy asking questions, with a beautiful vocalized score by Urata Hikaru playing moments after. And what a damn voice she's got. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Sora, our main character who's going to journey with us through this narrative. A teenager with a spiky headed hair, with a black, red and white jacket consisting of dozens of zips, and wears big yellow shoes. Sora has been having weird, eerie dreams lately. Confused and lost, but he doesn't know what great adventures lies ahead of him. This goes for our other main characters and Sora's best friends being Riku and Kairi, who also have this urge to set sail on a great adventure. They chill out together on the Destiny Islands, our first world, a place where Sora and his friends pretty much hang out and have fun. You can raise, collect materials, even stick fight with characters like Tidus from Final Fantasy X. And legit, why wouldn't you want to leave? I know Sora wants to go on an adventure, but seriously, a massive waterfalls, caves, beaches with crystal blue water, why would you not want to leave? But alas, the main trio's dream is one day to set sail to other worlds and to see and meet new interesting people and places. On the other side of the Final Fantasy / Disneyverse, we head to Disneyland, where King Mickey has vanished and has to investigate on the sudden disappearances of other worlds, and has told Goofy and Donald to go off and find the one who holds the key, as the key bearer is the one who should be able to solve this problem. Soon after, it turns out Sora's world is also on the brink of being engulfed by this storm of darkness, with the same creatures he's been dreaming about are actually real, with both Sora, Riku and Kairi getting separated. But just before Sora too vanishes, he also suddenly wields a Keyblade, a weapon of magic bestowed upon him. He can actually lay effect on the heartless creatures themselves. But in the end, even after fighting against all those dreaded heartless creatures, he still gets separated from his friends and gets sucked in by the whirlwind. Sora suddenly wakes up in Traverse Town, a safe haven for all those who have lost their worlds to the darkness, and our main hub area for this game. We bump into some more Final Fantasy characters being Sid, Aerith and Yuffie from FF7, Leon from FF8. Now, I played this game straight after completing Final Fantasy 7, and you should have seen the look of excitement on my face when I got to see these characters again. Legit, especially when we meet Cloud and Sephiroth in the Olympus Stadium. Now, the terms darkness and light of hearts are mentioned throughout the series. The concept of this is that everyone has a heart. Well, no. Or in this case, the soul of a being, and if your heart gets taken from you, you become a heartless, a mindless creature who feeds off the hearts of others. Only those who wield the Keyblade can vanquish the heartless and the darkness of the worlds. The main goal for Sora, Donald and Goofy is to reunite with their friends and the king. In doing so, they are tasked to venture from Disney World to Disney World to rid of the heartless. And that's where the Final Fantasy style of storytelling ends and only really returns in the final act of the game. Throughout this point, you will be traveling from Disney World to Disney World via Gummy Ship, where in between traveling through each world, you will get these on-rail arcade-like shooting sequences in which, to be honest, I did find a bit boring and not engaging at all. And when I say the FF story style ends, it's because through the next several hours, the story gets slowed down as you have to deal with the situation in each given Disney World. The Disney Worlds being Wonderland, Neverland, Tarzan's Deep Jungle, the Olympus Coliseum, Pinocchio, Winnie the Pooh's 100 Acre Wood, Halloween Town, Atlantica, Agrabah, and the final act being Hollow Bastion. Each level is like a retelling, or you could say an abridged version of the original movie it was based on, but it has a few threads of the overarching plot. An example of something like this I've seen before is how the Battle of Gods and Resurrection F films of Dragon Ball Z were retold in Dragon Ball Super. Although I feel like the player's feelings of each section of the game will vary depending on what Disney films they are more connected to. Like, I love the Tarzan and Hercules levels, but I felt like the Wonderland level was a drag as I never really cared for that film, to be honest. Hey, that's just me. Once you've defeated each world's respected bosses, you're bestowed a new Keyblade based off that world's design and forever locking the darkness, and you are off to battle in the next world. Now, Hollow Bastion is straight up my favourite world in this game, and that says a lot as it's not a Disney world. A steampunk designed castle isolated on its own with dozens of elevators, hallways, revolving doors, and a plethora of boss battles and puzzles. It kinda reminds you of a Zelda dungeon actually, and what tops everything is that Hollow Bastion's music is to die for. Just listen to it. The soundtrack itself for Kingdom Hearts is on another level, taking inspiration from both Final Fantasy and Disney scores. It's a soundtrack to this day I still listen to, with Hollow Bastion, Dearly Beloved, Simple and Clean and Traverse Town being the highlights for me. Legit, for anything when I'm drawing, doing homework, or even as I'm editing this video. In terms of gameplay, Kingdom Hearts is an action-based RPG using real-time combat unlike previously used turn-based combat as we've seen in Final Fantasy, and I think it was a good choice. It always keeps the player on his or her feet as there's a lot of hacking and slashing. Platforming also plays a part in gameplay, which is sprinkled in here and there throughout your playthrough. It's not on the levels of Super Mario 64, let's just say that, and just like any other Square game, you have a party of characters which you can swap out and develop and upgrade, which you can upgrade via buying items or developing their skill tree using experience points you've gathered throughout playing. Like I said earlier, Traverse Town is your main hub world of the game. You can return to Traverse Town whenever to stock up on items, new equipment, and modify your Gummy Ship for shooting sequences, and of course just walking around freely listening to the brilliant music, cause why wouldn't you? Now when playing, you have a sub menu on the bottom of the screen which you maneuver with your D-pad, in which you can choose to attack, use a spell, use an item, or summon, with summons of course being in this game Disney characters unlike monsters, with my girl Tinkerbell being a lifesaver in most boss encounters. My god. And I'm trying to keep it spoiler free here just in case you haven't played the game, but my god, this ending will get you emotional. I'm very, very, very serious, my god. And of course the life lessons being shown. Here's one of my favorite clips.
How will you fight without a weapon?
I know now I don't need the Keyblade. I've got a better weapon. My heart.
Your heart? What good will that weak little thing do for you?
Although my heart may be weak, it's not alone. It's grown with each new experience, and it's found a home with all the friends I've made. I've become part of their heart just as they've become a part of mine. And if they think of me now and then, if they don't forget me, then our hearts will be one. I don't need a weapon. My friends are my power.
What?
So yeah, overall I would say story-wise Kingdom Hearts is merely just a 15-hour prologue pretty much. A brief stepping stone in the grand escape we see in the sequels, and trust me, if you start anywhere else in the series you're gonna be hella confused. It's probably on par in terms of complexity as the Metal Gear Solid franchise, and I'm not joking. But yeah, I had a great time experiencing this game. This adventure is pretty much getting the player to resonate and grow with the characters, and by the end of the game successfully executes it. And of course the flurry of Disney and Final Fantasy characters you'll see on the way will get you hopping. One last thing, you know when a game does this job when you yourself are influenced by a character, and very few fictional characters have made me feel this way. A way to inspire me and make me, myself, become a better person. Personal examples of this are Naruto from Naruto/Naruto Shippuden, always never giving up no matter what the odds are against him. Gohan from Dragon Ball Z for always treating everyone with kindness and respect. Now Sora from Kingdom Hearts, who just like the previous two characters, who will go to the depths of the earth to save his friends, a thirst for adventure, as well as doing it with a smile along the way.